WPT Action 7 News.
Target 7 told you about female victims who say they were fondled by their Las Cruces high school teacher and they were never notified when a judge decided to release the teacher early from his probation.
Some believe it violated the state constitution. Tonight in a Target 7 investigation, John Cardinelli has new information about how other agencies are now getting involved.
When we first aired our investigation, Lost Justice, we told you about this man, Patrick Howard. He admitted to fondling his students while on field trips like this one to the governor's office. The district attorney admitted to us his victims should have been notified when a hearing was conducted to release Howard early from his probation. Tonight, Target 7 obtained audio recordings of that hearing.
This matter comes before the court pursuant to a motion to terminate probation.
This is an audio recording from a hearing that ultimately released this man, Patrick Howard, from his probation 2 years early. He pled guilty to fondling two of his 15-year-old students. This is where the victims say he touched them. And less than 2 weeks earlier, a federal jury awarded one of the victims $44 million.
Since he's already served more than 50% of his time on probation, he's eligible for early release.
Present was Howard, his attorney, probation officer, and the district attorney's office. Missing were the victims like CH.
I had nightmares because of it. I was afraid to sleep for a really long time.
Had she been there, this is what she would have told the judge.
I would tell them that them even considering it is awful, and that if they're working in criminal justice, they're not doing any justice for the victims.
I don't believe it's a coincidence that within 10 days of a federal jury issuing a civil verdict in the amount of $44 million, Patrick Howard's felony probation in the state system was terminated.
Molly McGraw represents the victims. She says they had no idea there was a hearing until days later after Howard was released from his probation.
Under the New Mexico Constitution, when a criminal defendant has a hearing or there's other modification to their sentence, the victims are entitled to notification. That did not happen here.
District Attorney Gerald Byers said under the state's constitution, his office should have 7 working days to notify victims. In this case, they were given 2.
I can tell you that every DA's office takes victims' rights very seriously.
During the hearing, nothing is said about the victims being notified, not even Byers' assistant district attorney. This is what was said when the judge called on him.
Our state would defer to probation.
And this is what the probation officer told District Court Judge Douglas Driggers.
Mr. Howard has been very compliant with his conditions of probation. He's completed his community service to include treatment, and he has not incurred any violations during his term on probation. At this time, I would give the court discretion for the motion.
Judge Driggers then called on Howard's attorney.
Mr. Darnell, your job is made a lot easier. Do you want to take up the court's time, or do you wish to pass on any response?
I think I'll pass.
I think that's wise. Motion granted.
In all, the hearing lasted 1 minute and 25 seconds, with no one speaking for the victims. Because of the plea agreement Howard reached in 2021, he's no longer considered a convicted felon. He doesn't have to register as a sex offender, and if he wanted to, he could get another job teaching. When we interviewed DA Byers, he told us he was going to reach out to the Attorney General's office to try to appeal the judge's ruling. For Target 7, I'm John Cardinelli.
And moments ago, we learned the Attorney General called a news conference tomorrow in Las Cruces to discuss this case.